What is up, everybody? It is Friday. It is Saturday. It is whatever day you are watching this. It is Charlotte for the right Uno reverse. It is USA for the month. For the month. That's right. For the next 4 or 5, I don't know how many weeks, but the next month-ish, we are going to change the show up. Obviously, it is World Cup time. It is U.S. men's national centric. That is what this show will be for the next month. Round of applause. I know you love that. That's what the people want. That's what the people get. So, we're going to talk a little bit of Charlotte news here and there, right? It's still going to be important and relevant, and that's what the show's based around. But, again, the next month, it is USA, baby. We all got our gear on right here, the U.S. You see our beautiful backdrop, courtesy Amy, Brian. Thank you guys for getting all this stuff and putting it together. But yeah,
you could say it's still Charlotte for the week because the captain of the U.S. national team is yours truly,
Timothy Michael Green is the captain of the U.S. Oh, captain, my captain, straight out of Charlotte.
That's right.
No big deal. But yes, it is going to be obviously USA for the next month here. We're excited to bring it to you, and we're kind of excited. It's a little bit fly by the wheels. It's not out of our comfort zone, but a little bit. So we're gonna learn.
We're gonna fly by the seat.
Is that the same?
Yeah, fly by the wheels.
All new stuff, right? But
the wheels are already coming off.
The wheels are already off this thing, but we're gonna have a good time with it. I can't wait for the World Cup. I know you can't neither. So here we go, and we'll jump right in. Obviously, we were all at the game this past Saturday at the bank in Charlotte. What a time that was. The score.
What an atmosphere.
Crazy.
Huge atmosphere. What did they say, 58,000 or just short of 58,000? Charlotte, you guys showed up. It was electric. It was so fun doing the yeah, that was awesome. Yes, exactly. So much fun. And the game itself, oh my gosh, were they fast. It was a brilliant game.
It's a different level.
Yeah.
It was a different level.
Not any of that, just let me see who I want to pass the ball to now.
It was fast. We'll get into the recap right now. Actually, it ended. U.S. men's national team 3, Senegal 2. Beautiful game. Could have been 5 or 6, to be honest. We'll kind of get into that here in a second. But, yeah, fast and creative. Those were the 2 words that really came to mind, kind of looking back and trying to do the recap myself. It was just – I don't want to say night and day compared to Charlotte, but it was man, that's a different level when they're out there playing the way that they were. A back three is fun. I think the Charlotte could take a little bit of a note from that. The back three was so much fun. Pepe, I thought, had a great game. He was the starter.
Second half.
Yeah, no. He started first half. Yeah, there was tons of subs, so some of the players here were tough to follow. I'm sure, obviously, that'll be different once the World Cup actually starts, but they subbed pretty much every player on the field at one point. But Pepe was the attacker, or the striker, rather, to start. I thought he had a brilliant game. Pooley, sick. Pooley, sick. Yeah, he had such a drought coming into this. Everybody was worried, what's going to happen? Is he going to be there? Is he going to produce? Oh, boy, he produced. He had the goal. He had the assist. Again, I think in large part to Pepe, he's the one that made the pass to kind of beat the 2 defenders first, and then Pulisic puts it into Dest for the opening goal. And, of course, then he had the brilliantly weighted pass to Pulisic, who just touches it right around the goalkeeper, puts it in the back of the net. Brilliant game from Pulisic. Really, the entire team. Kind of galaxy brain idea from Poach. I got to give him credit. Putting Freeman as that third center back, even though he's really more of a fullback, and then pairing him with Dest, who was playing much higher up the pitch. I thought that was a brilliant move. That worked really well, opened up that space, gave you a little bit more defensive fortitude on that side as well. So I think that's going to work really well. We'll get more into the lineup, I guess, down the road. But, yeah, really, really good. And, of course, Balogun, he comes in the second half after Pepe had a stellar first half. He scored a hat trick. Unfortunately, 2 of the goals didn't count. One, he was offside. Brilliant play by Malik Tillman on that goal that didn't count. And then a foul on another one, but then third time was the charm. He did put it in the back of the net for the goal. Wasn't all positive, right? It was 90% positive, but we did give up 2 goals, and it was really mistake-driven, I would say, right? Both of the goals, it was a giveaway by Anthony Robinson in the first half that kind of led to them getting on the break, and then a mistake by Miles Robinson in the second half. Goalkeeper Chris Brady maybe could have done a little bit more with that, perhaps. But overall, I mean, I don't know how you have anything but positives, but I will turn it over to you guys. What did you guys think? Did you have any other negatives, positives of the game?
Go ahead.
I think, I mean, being there on Sunday, you just get that whole different vibe with international soccer. I mean, like to see the Senegal fans back their team and like their chant and like hearing them. It was electric. It was just crazy. And I think the boys showed up, and I really do think Charlotte, well done. U.S. soccer should be looking and watching, because if you want to have fans show up to your games, bring it to the Queen City. The Queen City's here, and we will show up. I mean, it is a soccer city, and we love to support soccer. So, and we love to support USA.
All of the team afterwards were overwhelmingly positive about the city itself.
So I know, I mean, I'll kind of start with a semi-negative. I know Pulisic got tons of negative press and comments about the fact he needed rest going into the World Cup, but seeing him on the pitch on Sunday compared to, the few times he made a couple appearances here or there, played, but he did take that break where people were like, what the heck, man, you're like the face of US men's soccer. But I think maybe he knew what his body needed and mentally what he needed. And I saw a different side of Pulisic on Sunday where you could almost see like his passion for the game and for the national team was more evident.
The weight of the shoulder seemed, or the weight of the world seemed like it came off when he scored that goal. He was just so excited.
For me, that just was really nice to see. And I just thought, like, at first I was like, oh gosh, we're playing Senegal. We haven't been playing great. This could be terrible.
Senegal's a good team.
Very good.
I was really, really impressed. And I was already excited, but even more excited after seeing them play on Sunday, because they look like they have some things happening and some things are starting to cook.
There's some juice there.
Yeah,
There's some juice there.
I thought it was great.
What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, international soccer is it's different. I mean, the level's different. The excitement's different. I love the flavor, the fanfare. It's going to be a great summer. I'm excited for the World Cup to kick off. But I do think, I mean, it's time to go now, right? I mean, the U.S. hasn't really played that great lately under the Pochettino era, in my opinion. But I mean, it's put up or shut up time at this point.
Yeah.
And it was a good start. You mentioned the mistakes in the back. I do think at this level, they're going to make you pay.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to be clean in the back.
Tidy.
But this team can go forward and they can score goals. I really do think this team is going to be dangerous on the attack. It's whether or not that we can be tight enough on defense. I think it's going to make the difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they have the attacking weapons. I mean, all over the field, really. I mean, we've got, obviously. Oh, and by the way, shout out Big Pat for being at the game. What a great moment that was. They showed him at the game. We miss you, Big Pat. Hate that you're not there. But I do have to admit the three strikers that they have again, Pepe and in Balogun, and even Haji Wright, who's one of the few that didn't appear in this game. They have been really producing on their club level teams, and that showed up. I mean, I think honestly, the U.S. has one of, if not the deepest striker position or striker, purely striker position in the entire field, right? I mean, they have players there that can really play. And again, you do worry a bit about the back, especially with it being that back three. And we do know about Ream and how, if he gets isolated, it's not necessarily a good thing. But yes, if they can keep that ball moving forward and keep it in the offensive third.
That one play, like Pulisic was the one that came all the way back, right. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I do think those guys will come back and help out Ream. Hopefully, they won't need to too often, but Absolutely. They got the wheels to make it happen. So
well, It was a brilliant day, great game. Like you said, loved seeing Charlotte show up the way that they did, and yeah, just a great start, a great starter, I guess you would say, to the World Cup season. Can't wait for the actual games to start here the next week or 2 weeks. But yeah,
10 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's right there in that 10-day work. Well, by the time they watch it, it'll be a week, right? So, yep. I guess that puts. Do we still put a crown on it here, or what do we?
I mean, we have the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, yeah,
that's the torch.
Yeah, that's the torch. Moving us on to the next section here. This is still Charlotte for the Week channel, by the way. So we want a little bit of news here for the Charlotte crowd, which I guess is most of you. Brian, what you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, last week we had our eulogy for Wilfred Zaha. Not too long after we recorded that show, we started hearing rumors about Alan St. Maximin as a potential target and direct replacement for Wilfred Zaha. Plays on the left. Exciting player, fast player, probably more pacey than Zaha. I would love this signing. I think that would make us a potent attack, I believe. Then the second bit of news is
I think Mark has something to say.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Don't keep going. I'll get to it. Go ahead.
the second piece of news is Liel Abada was spotted in Glasgow, Scotland.
Stay
Lots of people
The
want
Scots want you.
That's where he came from, was Celtic,
Yeah,
right,
Celtic,
in Glasgow.
yeah.
So,
I mean, we would all be happy if he stayed over there.
yeah, exactly. Keep that one-way
Wish you
flight.
the
Go back
best.
to Celtic. We do wish you the best, Liel, but just not here.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the St. Maximin. I don't know about you guys. I watched probably an hour and a half worth of highlights that night of him. Man, that guy can dribble the ball. I mean, he will absolutely cook in the same way that Zaha did, assuming he comes. Obviously, nothing final or necessarily close to final, but it seems like that is the trend right now. So very excited to watch him play. If that does happen to be for Charlotte, really, really good replacement in my opinion. He's done really well in his. I think he's playing in Turkey right now. He's played 10 games, has 6 goal contributions there. So Newcastle legend. I actually am friends with the Newcastle guy. He works with me, I guess, coworker. Had to call him afterwards, and I can't do a great English accent, so don't make too much fun of me. But
no, please.
I was like, so how is he? And he goes, St. Maximin, legend. I tell you, is what he said. So he's got the approval of Newcastle. He's got the approval of me, at least.
Younger too,
Are you trying
29,
to be
only
Henry?
29 years.
It wasn't Henry. That wasn't Henry at all.
Oh,
that was shout out Christian. If you're watching the show, that was you. But anyway, can't wait to see him if and when that happens for Charlotte. What do you got, Amy?
I'm going to give you some. We don't really have legacy news because they didn't have a game here recently, but they do have a game soon. I'm just not sure.
Friday
when.
night, yeah.
I was going to say at tomorrow, like Friday night. So, but we do have 2 legacy guys. I guess they're also kind of first team guys. Alogo got called up for Benin, and Aaron John got called up to the U20 team. So congrats to those 2 guys.
Hey, shout them out. Yeah, on the national team for this, I guess, couple of games. So that'll be good to watch them. Again, not too much there. Just wanted to at least highlight our team here in Charlotte. It is Charlotte for the week after all. So moving on to the next one, though, right back to the World Cup. All right, and right into the next segment. So typically this would be where we do around the league. So this time we're going around the world. What else can we call it? Again, it is the World Cup after all. So for this one, just kind of a quick preview on really some of the teams that we expect to do well, and then perhaps some of the teams that we individually think could do well, right? So we'll start really with the top 6 teams. And when I say top 6, I mean by betting favorites, right? These are the teams that are favored to perhaps win the whole thing. And I guess I'll just start it out, right? So the number 1 team right now, or the betting favorite, if you will, at plus 450 is Spain. And no reason not to think they shouldn't be, right? I mean, This is a great team. They are the reigning European champion just from a couple of years ago. Really that perfect mix of old people, not old people, sorry, that sounded that way. Older players, experienced players, I guess you would say, right? And the young players, right? They have, in my opinion, the best player on the planet right now, even though he's only 18. His name is Lamine Yamal. They've got, let's see, at the back, they've got Marc Cucurella, who I think really plays well for this team. Not a Chelsea guy, but hey, he does really, really well for this team. The main thing with them is just the amount of depth that they have overall, right? They are a team that you can plug and play. That they probably go 26 deep like everybody does, but specifically them, right? I mean, their 26th player is arguably as good as their first, right? It's just talent throughout the entire.
You just called him the best player in the world. You're trying to say that the 26 player is as good as.
Let me revise that then. So there is one player that stands a little bit above the rest. His name's Lamine Yamal.
There you go.
But the rest of
Number
them,
2 player on the squad.
the point is,
2 through 26, super tight,
super interchangeable, right? And they have an identity that just seems to work. yes, I think your smart money would be on Spain for this particular World Cup. They know how to win. They know how to play. They aren't the old. If you remember, 2010s, 2006, right? Those teams were very ticky tack and possession based, and that's how they would play and do well with. This team doesn't play that way, right? This team is much more direct. They are much more, they're balanced at the back. They're solid at the back. They're going to be able to, defend and not give up too much. But then when they do get the ball, they are booming it forward to the best player on the planet in Lamine Yamal, and they can really, really run with anybody. So I just think they have a good mix of everything. It's no secret why they are the favorite right now. Again, that is Spain. Brian, who do we think?
Viva.
Yeah, Vive la France is the next team on the list that is projected to win, and that is France. They are uber talented everywhere. They won World Cups in the past. I'm going to consult my World Cup sticker book and just tell you a little bit about the players on here. I'm going to name them: Kylian Mbappe, Hugo Ekitike, Doué, Dembele, Ulisse, Tchouaméni. I mean, this team is
loaded,
stacked everywhere. My pick to win the World Cup actually is France. I think they get it done this year. They were runners-up in 2022, and this team is just too talented. It's just too talented.
They are there, man. I mean, they have players. I mean, you're not going to find a more talented team than France.
Yeah.
I know we just talked all about Spain, but my goodness, France. Just looking at the talent. I mean, Dembele was probably the fourth player you mentioned. He only won the Ballon d'Or last year. Right. I mean, that team can absolutely go. And yeah, they got that continuity. They're a great team, so good pick there.
Well, there might be a team that could give them a little run for their money. Not far behind France, we have our fond friends in England.
It's coming home.
It's coming home. Is it?
So they were the runner-ups in the 24 Euros. And neat little side note, out of the last 6 major competitions, England has made it to at least the quarterfinals and the semis in 5 of the last 6 major competitions. So they're definitely a team that you can expect to see go far in the World Cup. They also, like the other 2 teams, are loaded, hence that's why they're favorites.
Sure.
They have your Jude Bellingham, they have Ali Watkins, Saka, Declan Rice, pretty young. So they also have who Mark Allen likes to call the best goal scorer in the world.
That's just statistically true.
Because statistically it's true. Harry Kane. He has 61 goals and on record to beat Messi's
right now.
So that's something to watch. And tactically, they're just really flexible. They can do lots of different things on the pitch. They have lots of players. I'm not going to say they have players like Spain that can 21 through 26 are all interchangeable, but that would be a opponent that I wouldn't want to see on the other side of the pitch in any of my games in the World Cup.
They can game plan per matchup at the end of the day with all of those different tactics, right? I mean, they can plan for a Spain, they can plan for a United States, they can plan for a Senegal, right? If they feel like they need to change the game plan, they are the most apt to do it with that type of lineup that they have. A Jude Bellingham that can play down low, they can play up top, they can play out wide, right? They can do it all. So it's no secret why they got it.
I feel like we're hanging out in Europe a little too much, so let's bring it back to this side of the closer to our land.
Hemisphere.
Thank you.
School teacher here, by the way.
Hey, it's the end of the year. My words have failed me. We're going to go give a shout out to Brazil. Not shocking. Brazil would be a favorite. They, after all, do have the pedigree. They haven't won the World Cup once, not twice, not 3 times, not even 4 times like for the crown. 5 times they've won. Yeah, 5 times they've won the pedigree. They've won the World Cup. So obviously, historically, they're there. They are there all the time. They have the Carlo Ancelotti effect. And another quick little side note, he has the most major club trophies of all time. So they definitely have a gaffer at the helm that can help lead them.
He's won at every level.
I'm sure he can put the players on the pitch and put the wins in the column and get them out of the group, although their group's not that difficult, so they should. Some of their notable names. Neymar, we all know that. Yes, he's still playing, and he's still kind of trying to play in another World Cup, although he has a few knacks and could potentially be hurt. One of my favorite world girl goalkeepers in the world, Alison Becker. He is playing, probably will be their keeper one for Brazil. And then Gia Moraes, another great player for Brazil.
You nailed that one.
Thank you. Sorry, I phonetically spelled his name, and it was just a little funny on my screen. And then, of course, we'll end it up with they have Rafinha. So, sorry. Let me give your boy for Spain. Brazil has their own young talent. Their explosive attacker, he goes by the name of Vinny Jr. So, super electric, super speedy, great skill, crazy moves, fun to watch. So Brazil could also be potentially there at the end.
They've won the most. They have the coach that's won the most now, and they even baptized their airplane before coming over to the United States. So they are definitely primed. They could do it. They have a lot going for them at the end of the day. Shout out Bruno Guimaraes, by the way. Love that. Definitely a good chance there for Brazil. Plus 800 right now, so not too bad value. They are number 5 on the list, and then, number 4 on the list. And then who's number 5?
Number 5 is Portugal at plus 1,000. This is probably the most talented midfield of all the teams that we've mentioned.
It might be the oldest.
Team in the field it is an older team, experienced team.
Sorry,
veteran team.
Sorry, all our old friends. We need you. You're very important.
They're all younger than us.
Yes, that's right. Well, not if our parents are.
We got Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva in the midfield, Ruben Neves, Vitania, and Mateus Nunez. That is a stellar midfield.
I mean, that's one that I would work with. Wow.
They got a lot of pace.
And then you got a boy just waiting up top to get the ball.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about old guys, Ronaldo, he keeps doing it. 41 years old.
Still hoping.
I think he's probably going to get 1,000 goals in his career. He's bagging goals for Al Nassr, his team. Al Nassr, I think.
That's right.
In the Saudi Pro League. And I'm sure he'd like to bag some goals in this and go very far in the tournament. I'm not sure about this team, although they do well in international tournaments, but I don't see him.
I like this team. Like I said, exactly for that reason. They can control a midfield. You know how I love midfields, and I think that's a lot of times where the game is won and lost. Shout out to Bill Gianni. But anyway, yes, they have, without a doubt, in my opinion, the best midfield in the entire tournament. And then they do have pace outside, right? Rafael Leao's out there, right? I mean, they got players that can play.
Oh, so young legs.
Young legs outside, old legs in the middle. That's a good combination.
That's a good combination.
So I think that they have a good chance. I guess in this case, they have the 5th best chance. And I guess that rounds it over to me. The 6th best. Well, none other than the actual reigning world champs themselves. World Cup 22 winners, Argentina. Coming in also at plus 1,000. So I guess that's really tied for 5th. They are the reigning champs, right? It's a proven system. They haven't really changed, not only from a tactical standpoint, but a personnel standpoint over the last 4 years. It is pretty much copy and paste from the 2022 team. They have almost everybody returning, and they have the best. I'd say they have the best big game goalkeeper that goes right now. He's the only one that kept France from winning that World Cup last season. His name is Emi Martinez. Also got a little guy named Lionel Messi.
Who?
Little guy named Lionel Messi. You might have heard of him. Only ranked the number 1 athlete of the 21st century from, I think, ESPN or something like that.
Well, the best player in the world plays in MLS, by the way.
Yes.
How about that? And who knows how much he's going to have an effect on this one. Like I said, obviously he's 38 himself at this point. I don't expect him to go out there and play 90 minutes every game. But he doesn't need to. They are built on that defense first, their goalkeeper first, really, and then kind of out from there the defense. And they're going to play that pragmatic. We're going to sit back. We're not going to give up a goal. We're going to score 1 or 2, and we're going to beat you that way.
Yep.
That is how Argentina wins. That's why they won the last World Cup, and that's why they have the 6th, or really tied for 5th best odds to win this World Cup.
Kind of sad, though, that this is going to be the World Cup where we say goodbye to Ronaldo and Messi.
How about that?
Maybe.
Well, you said that. We said that last World Cup, and damn if they ain't back.
But I mean, 45 and 42. I mean,
that would be
I didn't know we had, like, what do they call it in the golf? The seniors World Cup.
Hey, Maybe they go like Benjamin Button
Legends.
next time, and
Right.
yeah, who knows?
The
But
Legends World Cup.
absolutely, but yeah, I mean, and they have the same odds. Go figure
Right,
that, right?
yeah.
So always kind of coincide with one another and coincide in the World Cup odds this year as well. So those are our favorites. Now we're going to get to even the more fun part, some of the long shots, the ones you can make the most money off of if and when you listen to us and take them. All right, and then like I said, we kind of have we got our favorites out of the way. Now we're each going to pick just one. Maybe 1.5. I do have one that I want to talk about. But one
You cheated.
long shot team that we think, and when I say long shot, it's really just not the U.S. and teams that we just mentioned, plus 1,000, beyond plus 1,000. So any teams that we think can win the World Cup and why. Amy, putting you on the spot, who's winning it and why?
Well, I am going to go with the current team in the world who's ranked 7th. They're always known as a bridesmaid, never the bride, none other than the Netherlands. Now,
What's their nickname?
Aranya.
We're going Flying Dutchman.
Aranya.
Flying Dutchman.
So I picked the Netherlands because they are always the bridesmaid and never the bride. So they have their head coach is Ronald Koeman. They have a great roster full of talent, some good rising talent, as well as some really good veteran leadership with none other than Liverpool's finest. Their captain, Virgil van Dijk.
Now I get it.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk. They also have Frankie de Jong, Memphis Depay.
I know what you're trying to say there.
And Cody Gakpo. But we'll get a little more into some players to watch, if you will. In the last World Cup, they finished first in their group with 7 points. They won 2-0 versus Senegal. So we did better than them against Senegal, although it's a different team 4 years later. 2-0 versus Qatar, and they drew against Ecuador. They did beat the USA in the round of 16 in the last World Cup 3-1. They reached the quarterfinals, eliminated by the eventual champions, Argentina, and they took it to a 2-2 draw. And after extra time, they lost 4-3 in a penalty shootout.
Shout out Emi Martinez again.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Other than the last World Cup in the Euro 2024, they were eliminated by England. They finished third in their group, advanced through the knockout stage, has lost 2-1 against England in the final four or the semifinals. Some key facts about the Dutch. ESPN's analytical projections placed the squad 4th overall in the tournament field based on their collective performance data and roster depth. They're valued at £814 million. That doesn't match the $1 billion Euro depths of France or England.
Go ahead and do that in dollars. We're in America here. What's 814 pounds?
A lot of dang on money, but not as much as the money as France and England have on their squad. They have a lot of really good EPL players on their team, and Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo. I will give you a different player other than 2 Liverpool players. Nathan, I think his name is Ake.
Ake, yeah. Shout out Man City.
They have an average age of about 27 and a half, so not too terribly. Kind of right there in like the prime of what you would think most players. And they have an elite defensive rating. I would put that at best in the world in Ake and Van Dijk. They have one of the lowest expected goals against projections in the entire field in the World Cup. So, a little bit about the squad. They're defensively anchored by none other than Virgil van Dijk. Critical figure.
Okay.
He's their captain. Huge elite aerial presence. Has just great awareness and position on the field and is really able to dictate the players in front of him. I think how well he plays is probably a really big key on how well the Dutch do. They have a really young goalkeeper, 23-year-old. His name is Verbruggen. He plays at Brighton. So this is his first World Cup of
Can't say he's a dual national. That's a very Netherlands name.
His first World Cup, but he's firmly established as a number 1 keeper, and he played every single Premier League minute for Brighton this past season. So, and he loves to distribute the ball and execute that controlled build-up from the back. They have a great midfield in Frankie de Jong, plays for Barcelona. He arrives at the tournament in peak form. at the peak of his career. Why are you laughing at me?
Because I really enjoy hearing you announce or like pronounce all the names. It's really enjoyable.
He's
Shout out Bruno Guimaraes.
G. Morais. So he's the primary orchestrator of the Dutch attack. Has great vision, ball progression to bridge the defense and forward lines. And then here's a good one for you. They're attacking talismans. Do you know what a talisman is?
A talisman, yes. That's the ones that score, yeah.
Yep.
So, well, if you don't know what it is, it's a object believed to possess supernatural or magical powers that attract good luck, specific energies, and personal power.
Okay.
So,
Doing an English lesson.
they have Memphis Depay, the nation's all-time active scorer for the Netherlands. And Depay was lethal during the World Cup qualification campaign. He scored 8 goals in 8 games, and he's their central focal point up front. They also have Daniel Malen, another forward, and Cody Gakpo, but Malen enters the summer as the most informed forward on their roster. He came from Aston Villa, and he's exploded onto the scene for Roma with 14 goals in just 18 matches so far. So they are in Group F. They play with Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Pretty much historically, they've beaten all those teams fairly easily. Haven't played a lot of them recently in the last couple of years. So historically, they've played the one which kind of surprised me is Tunisia's actually given them the most issues historically with the Netherlands only winning once and having 2 draws, although they scored 7 and conceded 3 in those matches. So what you're really wanting to know is what kind of formation they have in their key players. So are you ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
This is a deep dive. This is a deep dive.
Yeah.
So they play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, whichever way you want to look at it. We talked a little bit about their goalkeeper, the 23-year-old Verbruggen. We know in the back you have 2 center backs in Virgil van Dijk and Timber. They have Dumfries on the right back, Van de Ven on the left back, or Ake, whichever one he decides to put in there. Frankie de Jong. I feel like that's not how you say his name. Frankie de Jong?
That's right.
Okay. They have Gravenberch. Go Liverpool. And, I'm not going to say this guy's name right. Reinders?
Tajani Reinders. Shout out Man City.
Yeah, Man City. That's their center mids and defensive
That's how he
mid.
does his celebrations when he scores.
Like I was supposed to do that. What do you know? Right wing is Daniel Malen, and left wing, another Liverpool shout out, Cody Gakpo, and then of course Depay is their striker. Gravenberch and De Jong hold up the middle along with Reinders as their primary playmaker. So 2 fun facts. I know I'm all full of fun facts, but there's this German professor the other day when we were watching some World Cup stuff that has an algorithm for predicting the World Cup champions, and he's correctly predicted the last 3 World Cup winners, Argentina, France, and Germany, and he has predicted none other than Oranje, the Netherlands, to win this year's World Cup. So go Dutchmen. And despite their heartbreak of always being the bridesmaid and never the bride, the Dutch hold an incredibly modern record. They've only lost 1 World Cup match in normal regulation time this century.
That's pretty cool. I like that one.
And since 2000, all of their tournament eliminations have either come in dramatic penalty shootouts or in extra time.
Wow.
Boom. Netherlands, go Orange.
Plus 1,600, plus 2,000, somewhere in there. Brian, I don't know how you're going to follow that one, but let's see what you got. Who is your
tough.
team?
So I'm going to pick the number 8 ranked FIFA ranked team in Morocco. They have I think a plus 5,500 chance
huge
of
value
winning.
in the rank.
Yeah, a lot of value in that. They actually finished 4th in the 2022 World Cup. They lost to Croatia 2-1 in the 3rd place match, and they're coming into this tournament on fire. They are the first team in African World Cup qualifying history that won all 8 of the World Cup qualifiers.
Okay.
8 out of 8. And they also had a plus 20 goal differential, only letting in 2 goals in the 8 matches that they had. There has never been a World Cup winner from Africa. I think this could be the year.
Nice.
They're my dark horse. I'd love it. You may remember they were the other side of the controversy in the AFCON Cup. when I was
Peak
doing
cinema.
doing my research on this, the score was 3-0, them winning against Senegal. But in the actual game, Senegal beat them 1-0. But months later, they were awarded the 3-0 victory because of that mess of a.
That was insanity. And shout out AFCON. I think we talked about it once or twice before on this show. That was cinema. Nothing like the World Cup, but oh my God,
so much controversy and drama in that game. But they were the winners for the AFCON Cup. So great World Cup qualifying run. One AFCON Cup, and they've got a couple of really interesting players to watch. Hakimi, that plays for Paris Saint-Germain, he was probably the best player on the pitch for the UEFA or the Champions League final for Paris Saint-Germain. He's a right back, attacking wing back kind of player. Yeah,
awesome to have on FIFA as well. Awesome.
Yeah. And then the other player is Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid. He's our creative midfield player. Yeah. He's going to pull the strings. Won the Golden Boot at the African Cup of Nations, and is certainly the chief offensive engine for Morocco. They're in a group with Brazil, that's going to be a tough match. Haiti and Scotland. So I'm predicting they're gonna come out first in that group. I think they're gonna beat out Brazil for the top spot. I think Brazil goes through, but tough group. I think if they get out of their group, they got a path to the finals, and I would love to see an African team win. If it can't be the U.S., be my plus 55 Moroccan African Cup winners.
Nice pick. I like that. I mean, yeah, plus 5,500 and ranked 8. I mean, that's definitely good value if nothing else. And yes, they have players on the pitch that can absolutely get it done as well. So Brian's on Morocco. I did like your pick. Your pick was fantastic. It was, I mean, and we got to really learn why too. Netherlands, Morocco, and now for yours truly, Mark's long shot of the tournament.
It's a long one.
And it is a long one. So we're going Ecuador. We're staying on this side of the hemisphere. We're going Ecuador. Had torn between Belgium. I will shout out Belgium. Jeremy Doko, love you. But we couldn't go with them. They were like plus 2,000. Ecuador, plus 8,000. So wow. Way down there as far as odds go. But when you go look at this stuff, throw $10 at that, go win $800, right? So exactly that one. So listen. This team finished second in the CONMEBOL. I believe I'm pronouncing that correct. That's the South American ranking or pool. I guess you would pull from, right? Mm-hmm. As far as qualification goes, they finished second in that overall. They beat Brazil. We just mentioned Brazil, team that got their plane baptized. They were way up there, right? They beat this team. And I don't have quite as much on all this other stuff. I do have some players. Shout out Alan Franco, former Charlotte FC player right there. He's on the team. Right. But really, the reason why I think Ecuador is a good play here, they aren't in the strongest group. They have a couple of teams but they really should be able to push through. They are built on defense, and we know come tournament time, defense is really what can win championships, right? They're going to stay in the games. They're going to basically build a 4-4-2 and stick to that, right? That low block. They got some players that can move it. Enter Valencia is their striker up top that can still get it done as far as goal scoring goes. But really it's because of Moises Caicedo, right? He's one of the great defensive midfielders. He's a great fulcrum in there that can, they'll stop you, and then he can create that ball moving forward. Listen, I just think it's really good value. The coach that came in, shout out Sebastian, not going to try his last name. We just heard Echo tell us about it, and boy, it was a nightmare. Something like that. Sebastian Bekasisi, we'll go with that. But anyway, really, since he's come in, he's really, really developed the identity for this team of defense, and the turnaround has been quick, it's been immense, and it's been very noticeable, right? So I think they're coming into the tournament with really good swagger, right? With really good momentum, just like you had mentioned with Morocco. So, hey, like I said, throw 10 on them, win $800, right? Nothing wrong with that. So shout out Ecuador, shout out Belgium a little bit as well. But those are our 3 long shots. Again, it's Netherlands, it's Morocco, it's Ecuador. One of those 3's got to be great. We'll see how it goes. All right, and now in for the finale. A little bit different again, no match days this week. That'll be next week's episode when we give you the match day preview for the United States. guess I should bring it back full circle. We are out of the around the world and right back to the team we really care about here, the red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes, the U.S. men's national team. So just a quick preview, right? So currently the U.S. is ranked 16th in the world, tied 13th best odds to win the World Cup at plus 5,500, tied with Morocco, oddly enough, right? Those two teams are tied together. Just for reference, that's about they're twice as unlikely to win the World Cup as Charlotte is to win the MLS Cup. To kind of put it into perspective, right? So Charlotte FC is plus 3,000. Right, so a chance for both, right? Shout out the boys in black and blue. Always have to get back to them. But yeah, so not great odds, but obviously we are the host nation. We saw what the crowd could do for a team, right? Very favorable group, right? Being a host nation does give you that kind of benefit. So really good reasons to think they can do it. Also, probably a few that think why we couldn't do it, right, at the end of the day. So I guess I'll pass it off to Brian. I'll let you go first. What's one reason why the U.S. can win the World Cup this year?
So for me, it's that home crowd bump, and also this is the most European experienced team that the U.S. has ever put out there. They are not going to be intimidated by the moment. All of our players have been in big games. They've been in big moments in big European clubs. So this is the golden generation of the U.S. team, right? They're in their prime, and I think this is our best chance to make a really deep run.
Love that pick. Okay, and then Amy, what about you? What is one reason the U.S. can win the World Cup?
The reason why we can is you have nothing to lose. You have the underdog story. No one expects you to make a run in the tournament. And you haven't been really playing that well in all the matches leading up to the World Cup until we saw you play on Sunday. So I think you have everything to prove that we're here and we are going to win. So I just think it makes for a great underdog story. We're not expected, so let's do it.
Absolutely. I think one of these scars may say something like that.
Never chase reality.
Never chase reality. Exactly. That's kind of what that speaks to right there. And, my kind of reason why I think the U.S. can win it, obviously all of those reasons kind of combined, but really it is the unknown factor, right? So we have a coach that we just brought in, within the last year, a proven European coach in Mauricio Pochettino. Listen, he's gotten a lot of flack, and I get it, and there is a decent to good chance that we lose out of the group stage and he's gone forever and we hate that name. But there is the chance that he is the genius that he has been over at Spurs that led them to, probably their greatest success over the last century, right? Quarter century anyway, right? I love his tactics at the end of the day. Like I said, I love the thought of, hey, we don't need center backs to play center back. We can put a right back at center back and do it right. So his flexibility there and his thoughts, I think, and the newness of the team to a certain degree, right? They haven't really done these formations before. We've always been looked at as that standard 4-3-3 team, 4-3-3 team. Not this team, right? This is going to be a 3-4-3. It's going to be a 3-4-2-1. It's going to be whatever he thinks it needs to be for that particular match. So I think it is very flexible at the end of the day in how we line up. And he's going to line up based on how he thinks we can maximize the talent on the roster as opposed to how do we play within the confines of a specific formation. And so I really think that throws a wild card on everybody, right? They're not going to know how to scout the U.S. as well as maybe teams in the past have. And so that unknown factor, hey, maybe that leads to an early goal, 1-0 early, get that confidence going, and then you get the confidence going, and we know what happens after that. We have the talent, right? So that's my reason. And then I guess I'll just go ahead and move right into why they can't win the World Cup. And I told us not to do like cookie cutters, but it might be a little. We look at our lineup. Great lineup, by the way. I'm not trying to take anything away from a Christian Pulisic or from a Malik Tillman or from a Weston McKennie. That's not Ousmane Dembele out there, right? That's not Kylian Mbappe out there, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we are talented and we are talented, but then there are teams that are just talented, right? I mean, out throughout. And at the end of the day, sports do come down to that at the end of the day a lot of the times, right? You get to a certain point where one team, all the teams want to win it. And most of the time it is the most talented, and we know that unfortunately the U.S. isn't the most talented. Very talented, not the most, and so it's really as simple as that. It's just they're going to run out of steam eventually. They're going to run out of talent compared to one of these teams that they have to play eventually, and ultimately not be able to win it.
I mean, that's kind of the same thing. I think although our talent's emerging and we have more players playing overseas in other teams across the world than we ever had before, the U.S. just doesn't have the depth and the world experience as some of these other really dominating football teams. And I would just go back to the one, although Sunday was a great turnaround, if you look at the way we've been playing the last 2-3 years up in our international friendlies, it has not been pretty. So I just think when you look at what you've done the last couple of years against these dominating teams in the world, although they don't necessarily have the same starting lineups, but I'm like, they don't have their best, and you're getting dominated by them. What does that look like when you're playing them? Not to say anything against the guys we have put out there on the pitch, but like you said, they're just not the dominating world players that we know are out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think we probably have enough talent, on the starting 11, but there's a big drop off.
Yes.
Maybe we have player 12, 13, maybe 14. That's good enough to come on and compete. But then after that, we're just. I mean, you talked about Spain being
So our
like 2 through
26
26
are
being the same. It's not the same for us,
No.
right? So we're already starting off with a little bit less talent than some of the best teams in the world. And then our depth isn't great. So I agree with both of y'all on that. I want to throw one more thing in there. I'm concerned about our goalkeeping. Matt Freese is probably going to be the starter. He's been the starter in the lead-up games. Matt Turner is not the same Matt Turner of 2022. And then we have Chris Brady, who had his first cap on Sunday and made a big blunder.
Yeah.
I don't understand to have a zero-capped player this late in the game leading up to the World Cup.
Well, he's capped now.
Yeah, he's experienced, right? So
he might be capped twice.
So I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, and if because of our talent deficiency from some of these other teams, we're going to need good goalkeeping. Hey, at the end of the day, none of this matters until they roll the ball out on June 12th. We've seen teams that in the lead up have not had great form, and they switch it on for the World Cup. So I think there's a lot to be excited about, a lot to be hopeful for, and we'll see. We'll see.
Absolutely. No, very, very good points. Like I said, I think, maybe the back line as a whole, right? I mean, we love you, Tim. You are the captain at the end of the day, but, when we do compare him to a Virgil van Dijk, who we mentioned, stuff like that, right, it is a little bit difficult to see those two matchups, back to back. But, hey, we're not going to end this on a negative note, right? At the end of the day, the World Cup is here. The World Cup is now, and it's ours for the taking, right? I mean, it says it right here. Never chase reality. We're chasing dreams here in America, and we have the players, we have the personnel, we have the belief here. Can they go put it out on the pitch? Who knows?
I'll give you my starting 11.
I forgot about that part. Yes, let's do that as well.
I want to go first.
Okay, let's do it.
I put Matt Turner in there because I'm not a big Matt Freese fan. I don't think he's all that great. And I would go with the experience of Matt Turner. And on Sunday, he had that one crazy split save he had where he was this close. I just think he's going to be able to step his game up. So I have him starting as our goalkeeper. I have a 5-man back. I guess they kind of do a 3 with your wingers. But Serginho Dest, Alex Freeman, Chris Richards, our boy Tim Ream, and Anthony Robinson. And then in the midfield, I have Tyler Adams. Please don't get hurt. And Weston McKennie. And then up top, I have Malik Tillman, Balogun, and our one and only Pulisic.
That's a great starting 11. I think that's a very, very high likelihood. What about you, Brian?
So I've got a 4-4-3 starting lineup. 4-3-3 rather. Sorry, that's too many players.
I wish we could have 4. That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah.
So I've got Matt Freese in goal, and then our back line is Anthony Robinson, Tim Ream, Chris Richards in the middle, and Serginho Dest. And then in the midfield is Malik Tillman, Weston McKennie, and Tyler Adams as the holding midfielder. And then our forwards are Christian Pulisic, Flo Balogun, and Tim Weah.
Nice.
Very good.
And
I think
you, sir?
Yeah. For me, who was your goalkeeper?
I had Freese.
You had Freese as well. Yeah.
Come on, go with the young.
Brady.
It's definitely not Brady. It's definitely not Brady. It's definitely between Matt Turner and
that's
Matt
good,
Freese.
they're the only other two we had.
Yeah. Slight edge to Turner. I think I agree with you. He makes me nervous just because he has nervous energy back there. He looks frantic.
Sometimes playing nervous is a good thing.
Well, but at the end of the day, I agree. Though he is a shot stopper. He's been really good and in form for New England and his club team this year, back in the MLS, and so. He did have such good form in 2022, 2023, and even into 2024 is when he kind of started to lose it a bit. But it seems to me like the team has confidence, maybe even more so in him than Freese. So I will go Turner as the starting goalkeeper. I think there's no reason why he wouldn't have started this first game if he's not going to be the starter, but who knows? So we'll go Turner back at goalkeeper. Definitely, in my opinion, they're going with that back three that kind of shifts. Certainly Chris Richards in the middle, assuming health, right? We don't know for sure, but assuming he's healthy, he is the best center back on the team. He will be starting in that sweeper, we'll call it, position. Tim Ream obviously flanking him to the left. Captain, love you, Timothy Michael Ream, to the left. To the right of him will be Anthony or Antonio Freeman, rather. I loved that with that kind of pairing there. And then, yes, Serginho Dest out on the right. Kind of playing that right wing back position, if you will, pushing way up the field, however, more into a winger position. Definitely Jedi Robinson over on the left side of that as well. So kind of agree with everything you have so far. And definitely, obviously, Tyler Adams in the middle. This is where I do get a little bit different. I think I want Mr. Gio Reyna in there right there. Obviously, more of an attacking player to play on that side, but I really like that dynamic.
It could be so exciting.
It can be at the end of the day. So I like I said, he has that creativeness about him, right? And I think that's the thing that can separate us as a player like Gio Reyna to unlock it. So yeah, Adams and Reyna next to each other there. How many players is that? 5 plus. I got 3 more to go.
Yes.
Then we've got Weston McKennie on the right, kind of playing up higher. I like him up top. He even
like a false nine?
Not as a false nine, but that attacking midfielder versus that defensive midfielder. I like him higher up the pitch. Obviously, Pulisic on the left side of that. And then at the very top of it, I've got Ricardo Pepi. I think that he really connected well with Pulisic when he was in there. At the end of the day, this is all about how do we give Pulisic the best chance to be him. And we saw it on Sunday with, connecting with Pepi. Obviously, Balogun is great and probably our best striker. But can you imagine bringing that in the 65th minute, 70th minute, when everybody gets a little tired? Pepi just really connected the team, in my opinion. And so I think we give him the shot at first. That is my starting 11. That is our starting 11. Any thoughts? Or
I say I think our team goes as Christian Pulisic. I mean, he's the X factor. If he's playing well and dominating, then we'll go far as he can take us.
Absolutely. He can kick. I like it.
And he can kick
really damn far.
All the way to the final, baby.
Yeah. Well, I think that puts a bow on it, a crown on it, a flag on it, the Statue of Liberty on it, everything that we talked about. Thank you all for watching. There we go. Absolutely. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, World Cup starting in just a few days now. Very exciting. Cannot wait to see what happens in it. Hey, you.
Oh, wait.
S. Wait. I don't know how it goes.
It goes like this. Dun, dun.
U. There we go. S. A. There we go. USA. Let's all the way.
We'll work on
USA
it. We'll work on
it. For the week, baby.
Yeah, first one of the, we're trying this out. But yeah, as always, USA for the month, actually, is what we're calling it.
We'll see you next week.
And if not then, always come back for the crown.